Good morning, thank you for joining me. I hope everybody's well today. I have managed to make myself a nice cup of coffee, but I haven't managed to open the notes that I made yesterday for this very video, so I am just doing that now. Perfect, it's all organised. Might be a bit of a chatty one this, so you might want to make yourself a coffee as well, or a tea, or if you're somewhere gorgeously warm and summery, Australia maybe, a nice cold drink. Oh, that's nice. Right, what are we doing here today? We are talking about, I don't know what I'm going to call this, sort of maybe like a life update, semi-life update, rest of the year plans. I've entitled the document on my phone that I wrote yesterday, How I Want the Rest of the Year to Look. So that sort of gives you a bit of an idea of what this is all about. I need some hand cream, I've got very dry hands. Right, got some, let's pop that on. So I started thinking while I was on holiday, do a lot of my best thinking on holiday, clear mind and not so much to do, I guess. Gives us space to think about things a little bit more. And I was starting thinking about the rest of the year, and I feel like the media, once the kids go back to school in September, and September very much feels like, oh, autumn's here, whether it is or not. I mean, last week we had the 3 nicest days in a row that I can remember all year, so it felt like summer last week. But we are heading very quickly towards the end of September. In fact, by the time you see this, it will probably be almost into October, if not into October. But even at that stage, we have a quarter of the year left. And I feel like the media and the retail sector all sort of, as soon as September comes, hit us with Christmas is coming, and it almost feels like the year is over. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't really, it's not actually true, is it? I mean, in September, beginning of September, you've still got a third of the year left, you know, 33%. And even at the beginning of October, you've still got a quarter of the year left, 3 whole months. That's quite a lot, isn't it? And I feel like we are very often in this world racing towards the next thing and not taking a breath to be in the moment. This is me, more so than I'm saying generally, but racing towards the next thing and being so busy and not having a chance to actually think about the amount of time we have and the time we are actually in at the moment. And yeah, I just wanted to sort of reflect on that a little bit. An example of this is I was very kindly sent last week or the week before an advent calendar, a beauty advent calendar by a brand, and I emailed and thanked them for it and said that I would look at creating some content nearer the time with it, nearer the time to Christmas, you know, when we're actually starting to think about Christmas. And I had an email back from the lady and she said, just to let you know, if you want to create some content, we are looking at this advent calendar being a complete sellout by this week, meaning the week I'm in now, which is still in September. I'm filming this Monday the 23rd of September. And I thought, oh my God, that's the most depressing thing, is to think about Christmas advent calendars selling out before the end of September. And I just thought we just seem to race towards things so quickly. Sorry, I'm too hot, so I'm going to take my cardigan off. We just seem to race towards things so quickly and not, I don't know, enjoy the time we're in. So this year for me has been a bit of a mixed one. Last year was a bit of a mixed one. Last year was more down than up, but this year there have been some sadnesses for sure. My dad died in February, as you know, and my best friend's daughter has died very suddenly, very recently, which is at the age of 38, and it's just devastating. You know, that is, you know, it's the wrong way round of things, isn't it? I have talked about it a little bit before, so I won't go on too much about it, but I'd known her for 30 years and our 2 families are so close, it feels like a visceral loss, and that's how it feels to me, so I can't even imagine how it must feel to Faye, my best friend. So if you can hear snuffling, Ron is lying down directly behind me and is snuffling and sneezing a little bit, so apologies for that. That's what the noise is. So yeah, it has been a mixed year. We've had some lovely things happen as well. You know, we've spent lovely quality time with family. We have had some really nice holidays. Work has gone well this year. Ashley's work has gone well this year. Long may that continue. You know, so there are some good things as well. With the job that Will started, my son, in January, is going really well for him. He seems really happy and settled in his relationship with his girlfriend, which is lovely. We really like her. That there is much to be grateful for, as well as all the sadnesses. There is always joy as well alongside it. And for that, I'm always very grateful. Anyway, here we are. In September, nearly into October, but as I said, there's a quarter of the year left, and I wanted to take a few minutes or take a little bit of time and talk about how I want the rest of the year to look. What do I want to achieve? I don't know if achieve is the right word, but how do I want to feel? How do I want my life to be for the next 3 months? So I've started by looking at what's going on for the next 3 months, and I think I said a little while ago that we were hoping to do a trip up to London to see William before Christmas, to fit that in sometime in the next 3 months, and we've actually changed our minds on that. The reason for this being that William is coming home for Cameron's, my best friend's daughter, funeral in a couple of weeks, so he will be home for a weekend or an extended few days over the weekend then, so we'll be seeing him then. So we thought, as we're seeing him then, and then again later in the year, I'll come to that in a second, we will leave the London trip rather than trying to shoehorn it in and make everything super busy till after Christmas. So that's what we've decided to do on that. At the end of November, beginning of December, we are away for 10 days. We are flying to New York and then sailing back on the Queen Mary, and cannot wait for that. Really looking forward to it. I think I've mentioned this, but our best friends are also going on the trip. We're not going together. We booked it separately. They booked it first, actually, and then we booked it. But we will obviously be spending time with them, and bearing in mind what has happened, you know, with Cameron's death, I'm really pleased that we're going to be there and be able to support them a little bit, and you know, spend time together and perhaps be a force for jollying them along. I think when there's just the two of you in your grief, having someone external occasionally to help you through it, particularly on holiday maybe, I don't know, you know what I mean. I feel glad that we are going to be there and be able to be supportive to them in that situation. So I'm really glad that we have, that we did decide to book that as well. Anyway, really looking forward to that trip very much, as you can imagine. But before that, we have a weekend away with my family, my extended family, my brother and his family, all the kids and their partners, and my mum. And that is a weekend away for scattering my dad's ashes. We've decided where they're going to be scattered, and we're going to have a night away in a hotel, all of us, and all have dinner together, and then the following day we are going to go to the place we've decided to scatter the ashes, and scatter them and have a nice walk and think about Dad and all of that sort of thing. So that's a weekend coming up, and we're going to be seeing Will then as well. He's coming down for that weekend as well, so looking forward to that. Then, of course, we've got Christmas coming up at the end of December, as it always does. What a surprise. And we are away for Christmas this year. We're going to stay with my mum, Christmas Day with my brother. And so, yeah, that's a bit of a change. We haven't had Christmas in my mum's new house, so that will be nice. Looking forward to that. I'll talk more about that nearer the time, I expect. So that is all the sort of going away and things we have arranged between now and Christmas, and I don't want to add anything else to that. I think that that's enough. I want to be spending time at home and not overloading my social calendar. I am quite guilty of doing that, and although doing lots of social things is lovely, I feel like I would just like to slow my pace of life down just a little bit and make a little bit more to free up a little bit more time. I'd like to spend more time doing hobbies and leisure activities. Over the weekend, this weekend, I pulled out a diamond painting. Now, I'm not the world's biggest fan of diamond painting. I did one once before and I said, I don't think this is going to be a hobby that I sort of continue. But it's perfect for when your mind is feeling overwhelmed and you just want to do something with your hands, and it's just mindless. It's a mindless activity. So I started doing this diamond painting and it has felt really therapeutic. So I'd like to do some more sort of crafty things like that. I'm not the world's biggest crafter, but something that I can occupy my hands with and let my mind roam feels very appealing at the moment. Another thing that I put on this list for before Christmas is I would love to lose some weight. I would really very much like to lose some weight. I have got back into my exercise, walking on the treadmill. I'm not a great one for sport or anything like that. I've never been a great one for physical activity at all. It's something I have to force myself to do. But I did, after a long hiatus with my gallbladder problems, get back into walking on the treadmill over the sort of spring and summer months probably by the time I got back into it. And I definitely feel better for it, and I would like to continue that. I've also bought a rebounder, which I haven't really got into properly because I only got that just before I went on holiday. But I would like to have a go at that as well and see how I get on with that. I'd like to spend a bit more time with my mum. It feels like over the spring and summer months we have both been busy. We have seen each other. We went on a cruise together, and mum's been down here to stay, and I feel like it's such a long time since I went and spent I used to go regularly and spent a couple of days with my mum, sort of almost every month, and I'm actually due to do that next week, go up to Bournemouth and spend a couple of nights at hers and catch up with her. We always really enjoy it. It's so lovely to spend that quality time together. And that sort of, as I say, drifted over the summer months, and I definitely want to get back into that once a month-ish, to go up to Bournemouth and see her and spend a couple of days with her. So yeah, definitely going to be doing a bit more of that. Something I've been very guilty of over since I started this YouTube channel, really, since I started eBay on a full-time basis back in 2017 was it, I think, is if I'm not doing anything and if we're not away at a weekend, I will work at the weekends. The weekend days, apart from the fact Ashley is at home, will look for me very similar to the weekdays, and I really want to get out of the habit of working on weekend days. I have to do a minimal amount of wrapping whatever's sold the day before and just my general daily accounts admin and that sort of thing. But I really want to get out of the habit of working on weekends. I want weekends to be free to pursue other things, and I can make that happen. I just need to have the self-control to do it. I want to spend some quality time with Ashley planning our trip to New York. We are in New York for 3 nights before we go on the Queen Mary back to Southampton, and we really want to fit in quite a lot of things. We've already got some ideas. We've been watching New York vlogs, and we've been reading restaurant reviews and all sorts of stuff, and I've had some recommendations from friends, and I just want to get some bookings sorted out for various things we want to do, and make a bit of an itinerary, and just get a bit more organised. Last time we went to New York, we very much it was our first visit to New York, and we very much sort of didn't organise loads of things, and I feel like we said at the time, if we came back to New York again, we'd definitely organise our time better. So although we had a wonderful time, I think we could have packed a little bit more in and perhaps organised our time better while we were there to make the most of it. So I want to do that this time and just get all that into place and really enjoy the planning process as well as the actual going there. Christmas this year, I want to be low-key and calm. Our Christmases the last few years have been quite low-key, very calm. We've cut down massively the amount of presents for people we buy for and the amount of presents. Ashley and I probably won't give each other much because we're away on an expensive holiday just before Christmas this year. I also want to be completely organised for Christmas before we go away, so that when we get back mid-December, I'm not going, oh my god, I haven't bought presents and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. All I will have to do at that point is decorate the house, and we'll probably keep the house decorations fairly low-key because we're not hosting this year. We haven't got any big plans to have any family get-togethers here because we will be up in Bournemouth. So yes, get organised for Christmas before we go away, so I don't have that stress when we get back. You all right, Ron? You snuffling? You're a little bit snuffling. Another thing that I have started but really want to continue with is my decluttering. I've been super enjoying my project not to buy any books and to read the books I've already got. I've been enjoying my not buying too many candles and enjoying the candles and using up the candles I've got. My candle cupboard only has about half the number of candles it has had in at the beginning of the year, so I'm so pleased about that. I feel like I've done well with that. There's so much around the house that we don't need and just could be got rid of, so I just do want to really try and keep on top of that and continue to work at decluttering. It's just an ongoing process, isn't it? So that's another thing I want to do over the next few months. And the final thing on my list is cherish my friends and family. I think I'm pretty good at doing this already. I think I'm always grateful for, I talk a lot on here about how grateful I am for how close I am to my family, and whilst I don't have a huge circle of friends, I really value the friends that I do have, my close friends, and it's just, you never know when that's going to be taken away. All we have is now, and you never know what's around the corner, and I think that's important to recognise. And I guess the summary of the whole video is that I want to slow down a bit. I want to enjoy the moment that I'm in. I want to not be rushing around, and I want to enjoy the next 3 months and not be looking ahead to, oh, it's going to be a new year, new start, all of that. I want to cherish the next 3 months of autumn going into winter, do all the things I've talked about, and be happy and healthy. And that's all we can wish for, really, isn't it? I feel like this has been a really rambly video. I don't know if it has or not. When I watch it back, I'll figure it out. I feel like I've rambled a lot. But let me know what your plans are for the rest of the year. Is there anything you'd like to do that you haven't done this year? Or is there anything that you have plans to do that you're looking forward to? Or always interested to read what's going on in your lives. Otherwise, this feels like a very one-way street, doesn't it? This weird YouTube thing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.